Hey, how you doing? It's Dan McDonald here, and I'm the Life Regenerator on YouTube. I want to thank you very much for joining me for today's episode of the Life Regenerator Show. I love seeing the activity. I get hundreds of emails from the Insiders Club every day. I see hundreds of comments on the YouTube, and it's just nice to see everybody out there living, having their opinions, their beliefs, and I think that's great. Fortunate for me, I have this wonderful platform here, this YouTube channel, and I get to share with you my love for the raw living foods. My personal love and promotion of the raw living foods does not mean that I'm against anything else. I'm not against anything. And here's something to think about. For everyone who's anti anything, just because you love chocolate and choose it does not mean you have to hate vanilla. So many times in this world, people prefer chocolate, and then they attack the people that prefer vanilla. Does that make any sense? Of course not. So with that in mind, it should allow you to rise up to a new level of peace and responsibility, because you can choose a vegan diet, but you don't have to hate people that eat meat. You see how easy that is? You don't have to hate anyone. In fact, I don't really know anyone that's a true vegan. I would say besides myself, but apparently I don't reach up to the code of ethics because I eat bee pollen a couple times a year and I use honey in my tea. Other than that, I don't consume dairy, I don't eat animal foods, and I do not promote animal-based supplements. I mean, 4 years ago, I had a bottle of deer antler, and that was it. And look at what continues on to this very day. I find it to be very interesting, to say the least. But the advocacy of raw living foods does not make me against anyone, because if I was against people that consumed animal products, I would literally be against every single person that I know. Why would I want to be against every single person that I know? I am pro everyone. I'm pro life. Okay, and it's hard for people to understand. I was looking at some of the comments that I find very interesting, and I am very blessed in the fact that I have just decided, or something decided for me, that my focus was going to be on the alleviation of human suffering. Why is it that way? I don't know. Probably because I myself had to help myself to alleviate suffering. And then I made a video one day, and here we are together, still hanging out, promoting the power of the raw living foods that I've experienced in my own experience. And I will tell you right now, it does get better and better, especially when you learn to moderate your consumption of food and simplify the combinations. And the more living and high water and mineral dense and fresh and local that those foods are, the better the effect on the mind. And when the mind is clear because the blood is clean, that's when you can focus the mind on those internal struggles, that programming which no longer serves you, the hurts that are still to this very day affecting the way you see life, the way you respond to life. And don't you want to respond to life in a loving and peaceful and harmonious way? And so if you've been impregnated with consciousness from your parents or your society or the powers that be or your social and public school systems or your religious organizations, that can easily create highly dysfunctional human beings, because error is very damaging. If you live your life based on falsehood, you will never know the truth, and you will never be free, because it was the great master who once said, "The truth shall make you free." And that statement itself makes a lot of sense to me deep down in the very core of my essence. And that's why these videos are imbued with the hope that somehow through the transmission, you pick up on my love for what we really are, and my particular and personal belief that the more knowledge and experience that you have with your underlying and true core essence of what you really are in the eternal sense, you can really experience a very high level of peace, and you can continue to grow and expand. And I will tell you a story about last night when I was sitting around the table with the four most important ladies in my life: Sophia, Katya, Natea, and my ex-wife. And it was a dream of mine a long time to have all four of them together. So we went out to dinner last night. Well, that's check one. Your mind can create what you want to create. To get all four of them together to go out to dinner, is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. So that was one thing that arose out of my thoughts. And I was also just observing. Last night was that experience at the raw food restaurant. I was really observing the growth that's taken place in my experience. That's why I want to continue to advocate the things that have worked for me, which is the raw living foods. And 100% raw living foods was a major accelerator for me being able to evolve. Because when I was using cooked food, I never ate cooked food for health. I never ate cooked food for economical reasons. I always ate cooked food out of an inability to handle my emotional state. That was always what it was for me. I couldn't handle it. I was stressed out. I was resisting what was going on, and a stack of flapjacks always did the trick. It was because I couldn't do drugs anymore, and there was other escapes that just no longer were acceptable. And so the only acceptable escape that I had was like, okay, the flapjacks aren't that big of a deal. Just the butter, the syrup, the fat stack of carbohydrate and gluten. And then when your belly is all full like that, all the vital force, which was going to your awareness, which was trying to get you to see something, it was trying to get you to see that darkness that's within you so that it could be looked at, experienced, and released. But we don't like to feel that darkness. We don't want to feel the pain. We don't want to re-experience what we buried as children or young adults, and it's stacked up and stacked up. The programming of the ignorance, which is a feeling of darkness, because deep down inside, you know what you really are. Deep down in your unconscious, you know what you really are. And you know that this really isn't me. Look at the child and look at the sage. These are the two examples that we have to inspire us. The child is so innocent. It plays, it loves, it laughs, it experiences, it passes through that experiences, and it moves on. As adults, we tend to accumulate. So the child has no value in the illusions of the world, like money and fame and plaques and adulation from the crowd. They just want to play and have fun and be innocent and be present. And the sage, through experience and spiritual maturity, sees the dust of all that is, the adulation, the material possessions. He doesn't value those. So again, we have a being who is free to be in the present moment and really truly experience the joy of life. So the raw foods has been huge for me. And the last week, my diet has been better than ever before. I had to do the fat experiments. I had to do the spice experiments, the gourmet experience, the fruitarianism experience. I had to do the juice experiences. I had to do the fasting experiences. I will continue to do more fasting. Water fasting, master cleansing, watermelon fasting, grapefruit juice fasting. For 1 day or 5 days or 7 days or 21 days or 40 days, whatever. Because you know what I love? I love the discipline. I love self-control. Because from a dude who had no self-control, the pancakes called out and I couldn't control myself. I had no control. Hey, I might have drove in front of IHOP for 4, 5, or 6 hours trying to not do that. Now, of course, what I would do is just go slam a bottle of orange juice and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm all good. You know what I mean? But back then, it was this whole mental battle. So I'd go into IHOP and I would just eat the pancakes and carb up, and then I'd be like, oh, I'd have this big belly full of food. And the vitality of that energy that was trying to expand within me got suppressed. And so then but I didn't deal with the underlying cause. And as I've gotten more astute and more aware and more sensitive to what's happening inside my body, my emotional body, and my mental body, I'm able to see, okay, you can suppress this all your life. You can smoke it away, drink it away, hump it away. You can money it away. You can chase things and get it away. But at the end of the day, if you become truly sensitive to the energy you're putting out into the world, you're going to want to purify yourself. And the beginning of that started with me with the raw foods. It stabilized my blood. It stabilized my brain, because you can't argue that food affects your life. If we could do an experiment, I'll drink orange juice for a month and you can eat cheeseburgers for a month. And at the end of that month, we're going to see who's doing better physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So there's the experiment. Like, try to figure that out. You'll be protein deficient with the oranges. Not really. Yeah, you might be skinny, but I bet you your skin will be clear. Your mind will be functioning fine. You know? And as long as it's truly ripe orange juice, you know what I'm saying? So there would be some context there to consider. Like, if you were drinking like unripe orange juice, that would be bad, because then you might have like problems with your teeth and stuff. But that's why I recommend balance, you know what I'm saying, in all things. But that was just a little experiment to think of yourself. Oh, food doesn't affect me, I'm spiritual. Then you eat cheeseburgers and I'll drink orange juice, and we'll see who's feeling better at the end of that month. And nobody in their right mind would argue that a month of cheeseburgers every day, 3 times a day, or a month of orange juice 3 times a day would be, you know what I'm saying? Because orange juice is really good for your brain, and the fruit sugars are really good for your blood. And the clean, simple foods are going to help you to dig yourself out of the hole that was built not necessarily by yourself. It was your innocence, the programming, you were watching the TV, boom, Saturday morning cartoons. You just got programmed, and now you want sugar bixies, and you want the milk on top of it with all the colorants and all that. Because you, innocent little kid, and you just got program. You went to church every Sunday, program. You went to school every day, program. And now you're programmed with some truth, some falsehood, and you're a mess. But you really will never find freedom unless you find the truest, deepest truth. And that, to me, as the way I see it at this level of consciousness, is that is an inward journey. And it is a release of the ignorance. And it's a release of the pain that's built up. And it's a recontextualization of your experience so that you can find the innocence. So here's some advice, and then I've got 10 gazillion more videos, because I'm about 1/1 billionth of what I'd like to say and convey. And the reason why my videos are so long is because I really want people to understand this. Look, I'm not Jesus. I don't walk on water. I still have challenges every day. But I was here, and now I'm here. And like where I'm at now is amazing. When I was sitting at that table yesterday, I couldn't believe the man that I've become. And that's why I want to convey to you every single thing I've ever learned. You know what I'm saying? On these videos. Yes, I sell DVDs. Yes, I promote other things. But at the end of the day, if you can't tell that these YouTube videos, which don't pay me anything, are my heart and soul, then I don't think you've been paying attention. I do all that other stuff because I love my kids. And I love Sophia. And I love my ex-wife. And I love my parents. And I love being able to buy batteries that are $2 each for this little thing, so that I can make these YouTube videos, so I can afford this motel room, so that I can sit here and make this happen and visit my kids. So that's why my videos are so long, because all I want to do is color it, picture it, share it, have you feel it. And this information, there's other dudes out there I respect so much. They get up here, they make a 5-minute video. It's like, wow, I just learned so much. They were so clear and so on point. But I'm more like this is wow, 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 and it just starts flowing to me. And then it comes through, and all I want is for you to somehow, in some way, be able to understand what I've learned in this life and how it's got me here with thinking, clarity, clear blood, simple foods. I don't like the war with the body when all the mixtures are in there. Yes, you have to transition. It's going to take a while. It took me 12 and a half years to get to be 100% raw. And it took me about 14 years now to where I'm like, I have control. I can look at all the delicious stuff and I can even say, hey, that's raw. But that's not what I need right now. I need clarity. I'm regenerating my brain. And I find that, let's say for example, my diet yesterday was, I had a big giant seeded watermelon, and then I had a spinach salad with tomatoes and lime juice on it. So super simple. Sometimes I don't even put the tomatoes and lime juice. I just eat the plain old spinach, and I just do that for the protein, for the teeth, for the balance, for the chlorophyll, for the minerals, the stabilization. If I could get the most high quality fruits, that's what I would do. But it's hard to find super mineral dense fruits that will keep you nice and balanced. That's why I bring in the fruits and the herbs, both. If it was a different world and the soil was better, I would use just fruit. And someday I'm going to grow my own fruit, and it's going to be so mineral dense that I'll be able to live off of it and get all the minerals that I need for the conductivity, that is the synergy of wholeness, so that you don't get out of balance in one way or the other, because you need the calcium, the magnesium, you also need the zinc and the phosphorus, and you also need the copper and the biotin and all these other minerals. It's good for your hair and your teeth and your skin and your bones, and electrical conductivity. And when you're missing one of those minerals, you're missing one of the key components in a communication line between your cells. And you want to be able to use your mind to create energetic pathways that speak to the cells. So use the most powerful words. That's what I want to say. Speak in the affirmative right now. I am healthy right now. Anything other than that doesn't work. Words like can't, won't, shouldn't have done that, can't, just negative words, they will not help you. They will sever the flow of that superior conductivity. So be mindful of your words, and better yet, be mindful of your thoughts. What are your thoughts saying about you? And learn how to be in control of your thoughts and cancel those negative things out. Cancel out the unconscious guilt around money. Just cancel it out. It's like, Dan, you're innocent. You're doing what you have to do. Move on. You're going to get all kinds of stuff in this world. As you move ahead, you're going to get it. They're going to always be coming after you, because that's just how it works. When you start shining your light, you're just a mirror, and none of it is personal. But it's up to you to stay true to yourself, to your path. And that's an individual thing. You have to stay strong and true and in your power. And you have to do what you have to do for what you have to do. No one knows what you have to do. Maybe you don't have any kids. Maybe you can just move to Africa, live in a tent, and dig wells. And that's, you don't have any kids, and that's your context, and that's like awesome. But that wouldn't necessarily make you better than Joe Blow, who sells pharmaceutical drugs to the elderly to pay his bills. I mean, do you really want to attack him, hate him? What about the butcher? My grandpa was a butcher. I wasn't a vegan at that time, but should I hate him for being a butcher? No, because my grandpa was just trying to feed his family. That's what I'm trying to say through all this on these YouTube videos. The diet wars, they mean nothing to me. For me, trying to convince you that my diet is the only one right way, I have no interest in that either. Not any kind of interest at all. All I'm interested in is, hey, my name is Dan McDonald, and at one point I was impoverished, and I was wandering around the streets, totally lost and confused, strung out on drugs, had no hope, suicidally depressed person. And somehow I've managed to get myself to a place Or I was sitting at the table last night, amazed that I have created abundance for my children, that I have created calmness and peacefulness within myself, strength and courage around fear. Fear was the enemy, and courage, that I brought in the courage. That was one thing I wanted to say the last few days, is that, yeah, there's fear there, but you know what? Fear is only a problem if you forget to invoke courage. You know, courage isn't the absence of faith, you know? It's just courage in spite of it. And I know there's so many people out there right now watching this video that won't live their life, that won't live their truest potential because fear is going to hold them back. But from that video right there, what we just talked about, there's a few of you that are actually going to understand that. And you're going to make a difference. And you're going to realize that fear's there. You can let it immobilize you, but unless you invoke courage, bring the courage in and surround that fear, because here's what it is that these virtuous qualities are powerful. Fear is immobilizing. Fear is disintegrating. It severs the flow of the divine life energy. But faith and courage and love, now that is an energy field that is much more expansive. So what we learn how to do is to love our fear. We love our shame. We send love. When you send love to shame, watch how quickly you move out of that. When you send love to guilt, watch how quickly you move out of that. But feeling guilty for feeling guilty, that's a loop that you will never escape. Trust me. And being angry at yourself because you're afraid, not going to work. Never going to get out of it. You'll never get out of the loop. Only love can get you out of the loop of addiction. Only love can get you out of anger. Only love can get you out of hatred or shame or guilt. So bring love to every single thing that you do. I've committed to unconditional love many, many years ago. And to this day, the flower of unconditional love still blossoms in my heart. And it affects my life in a positive way. And it always gets better and better as long as you stay committed to those powerful and virtuous energy fields. It's unlimited what you can do in this life. You are unlimited. In fact, that's not even the best word for it, unlimited, because the word limited is in there. So a better word for that, I'm trying to eliminate that word and bring in pure potential, eternal, infinite being. And you can create any possibility with the magic inside you. You are the miracle right now. You are the creative principle. You know, it's a miracle, and I guess it just takes a certain level of consciousness or perception to see that. How blessed you are to be a human being, and how you can send love to your pain. You have that ability to send love to your pain. Did you know that? That right there, for all the people who managed to stick around and listen for 24 minutes, that right there is a game changer. It was for me. I've accelerated so much ever since I started bringing love to the fear, love to the shame, love to the unconscious guilt around making money. We all have it. It's programmed deeply and subtly. There's a lot more going on out here. And for us to be arguing amongst ourselves, we need to band together. Regardless of dietary choices, how we choose to make money, religious differences, skin color, or geographic location. As human beings, if we want peace, we're going to have to band together. We're going to have to learn to, you like vanilla? Oh, dude, I like chocolate. That's cool, man. You get vanilla, I'll get chocolate, and we can hang out together. We'll have an ice cream party. Just like me. It's like, oh, I'm a vegan. Oh, you like steak? Cool. Let's go to the Sizzler. I'll get a salad. You know, I'll go to the salad bar and you can get a steak. We'll hang out. We'll have dinner together. Awesome. But no, underneath the YouTube videos, it's like, you have a steak, I'm going to have a salad, I can't hang out with you. That's gross. That's a whatever. Judge them. Did you know that was a dead cow? And he's like, yeah, and it tastes great. I love it, you know? So you don't do that. You don't judge people for what they eat. You just love everybody. I do it. Nobody I know is a vegan. Not even me. And I don't even want to be that anyways. I don't want to be boxed into anything. All I want to do is love fruits and vegetables. All I want to do is love people. All I want to do is love peace. All I want to do is love God. All I want to do is love life. All I want to do is love these YouTube videos. All I want to do is love the fact that I've been put here to be this right now. It's like awesome. Because I bet you this video is probably doing somebody somewhere some good. And if that's the case, thank you. I just want to make sure that I'm sharing from the depths of my being that you can get it and make a difference in your life. That you have the power to choose. The power to be in control of your thoughts and what you're putting out into this universe and what you're getting back. Keep on coming back to love. Meditate on love. Live in love. Serve in love and serve all. Forget about dietary choices. Show me how awesome you are. Show me how happy you are. And how radiant you are. And how when you walk into the room, you change people with your personality and your high vibration. And then I'll say, hey, what's your diet? What's your thought structure? What's your religious beliefs? Because you are radiating the light. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it coming off the halo in your head. I can feel it coming from your heart. You're wafting awesomeness through this room. I want to know about you. I want to know what you do. I want to pick your brain. Will you teach me? Will you show me? I want to be like you. You know, but if you try to soapbox and if you try to anger people into the vegan diet, if you're trying to hate them or convince them, it's never going to work. You need to be so awesome in your awesomeness that people are literally chasing you down to dig out of you. Or at least, you know, they're watching your YouTube videos because no one has to be here on this video. If somebody's here, then there must be a reason why. You know what I mean? There's no reason for confrontation anymore. It's not going to work. Love works. Thank you very much. This is, I was going to say this is longer than I wanted it to be, but you know what? That's not true. Because I think that I had an opportunity to share what I really wanted to share today, and I just appreciate you so much. So have an awesome day. And I will continue to try to do my best to answer health questions here on YouTube with the systematic approach to detoxification, hydration, alkalization, energization for the regeneration, not only of your body, but of your heart and your mind and your spirit. This is full-on life regeneration. And I'm just super glad to have you here. I'm super proud of you for being interested in that kind of thing, because you are ushering in the new age. And we are here to create a new humanity through this process of awakening and expansion and growth and blossoming of the flower of the eternal, infinite, and divine essence